Perhaps one of the most underappreciated specimens, grass is an organism of unparalleled significance. Be it for its ecological or economic roles, grass is a diverse group with a makeup of approximately 12,000 species. So who is all included in this family or union? Well, the grass family is currently referred to as the Poaceae family, although it used to be known as the Gramineae family. This family is part of the Poales order, which is included in the monocot superorder Lilianae of the Magnoliaceae class within the Plantae kingdom. The common name of this species is grass, and it is one of the most accessible, abundant, and important families of Earth's flora. There are, surprisingly, 12 subfamilies of Poaceae with a total of 771 genera that then break down into about 12,000 species of grass. Those 12 subfamilies can be identified through the common use of the suffix oidae, beyond looking like, well, grass. Within these 12 subfamilies, there are the bamboos, cereal grasses, and grasses of natural grasslands, and the grass you decorate your lawn with, along with a plethora of others. These mentioned grasses are perhaps the most noticeable and the closest to home for most people, as they fill the backyards, empty lots, and prairies of our hometowns. Bamboos are the grasses that grow to tree-like heights, anywhere from a couple of centimeters to 40 meters tall. They have a complex underground root system that can grow clumped with other stalks or alone as branching runners. Bamboo grow together, creating gigantic bamboo forests, like those found in China. Cereal grasses are those that can be cultivated for eating. Cereal refers to any grass with edible components of its grain and can be found in the grasslands. Natural grasslands are comprised of many species of grass, including buffalo grass, ryegrass, and purple needlegrass, to name a few. Oftentimes, we think of grass as just the blade with no flowers to speak of. However, that's not the case for grasses. Grass inflorescence is a spike which can then be subdivided into spikelets. These spikelets contain a bottom portion called the glumes, which are the first part of the scale on the spikelet. The next two scales occur in pairs and protect the flower. These are known as the palea and lemma. The three parts consisting of the palea, lemma, and flower make up a floret. As mentioned before, the palea, lemma, and flower make up a floret of grass. Most of the time, you won't know the flower exists since they make a very brief appearance during flowering. Instead of petals, grasses typically have a structure called the loticule that forces the lemma and palea apart by swelling up when the flower is mature. These locules are usually in numbers of 3, indicating that this is a monocot. By doing so, the filaments and stigmas are exposed, allowing for the pollination to occur. Grasses don't need bees to help them pollinate. They don't have bright colors or nectar, but they compensate by having a large amount of pollen, which can be carried in large portions by the wind. Grass flowers may be perfect or imperfect depending on the species. Corn is unisexual, while things like wheat, barley, and rye have both male and female parts. When pollinated, grass fruits form, also known as grains, with most of the fruit sticking only to one seed. Comparing this to other fruits like apples, oranges, pumpkins, etc., this makes grass fruits unique, since they have the fruiting body only surrounding one seed compared to a fruit surrounding multiple seeds. Caryopsis? What's that? Well, in its most simple terms, it's just a dry fruit. While we don't typically think of something like corn or grain as being a fruit, it actually is. When we compare a caryopsis to something like a peach, the predominant differences that we see between the two are a very enlarged seed and a very diminished pericarp, or fleshy ovary wall, which makes up what we normally think of as a part of the peach that is a fruit. This means that when we eat something like corn or grains, we're mainly eating the true seed of the plant. Okay, so we've got the whole caryopsis thing down. But does this mean that of the Poaceae family, only grains and corns produce fruit? Well, both grains and corn species produce fruits, but so do the rest of the species in the Poaceae family. They just might be things that we think of as fruits even less than corn, or they might be so small that we never even notice that they exist. So just corn and grains produce fruit? We can see here that just like the incredible diversity of species within the Poaceae family, there is an incredible amount of diversity in the fruits that they produce. So yes and no. There are over 10,000 species of plants in the Poaceae family, and each one of these species produce fruits in the form of caryopsis. We've already talked a little bit about corn and what we think of as cereal grains and oats, but each of these representations of fruits, or the species that produce fruits, also produce their own individual fruits. Wild rice is also a member of the Poaceae family, and the wild rice that we eat is actually the caryopsis, or fruit of plants that grow in shallow freshwater bodies of water or along streams. Bamboo also produces a caryopsis that very much resembles that of cereal grains. We've been talking about what we think about as typical grasses throughout this video, and each species of grass also produces a fruit in the form of a caryopsis. They are often so small that even though we're surrounded by grass, we never notice them. Now that we have covered the defining characteristics and specifics of Poaceae, let's discuss why the grass family is significant. Did you know that almost 70% of our planet's land is devoted to the cropping of grasses? Over 50% of available calories are derived from the grass family. Grasses provide us and other animals with a plentiful source of carbohydrates, protein, oil, and vitamins. Most grass species are harvested as cereals. This cultivation emerged around 10,000 years ago as a result of the transition from hunting and gathering to plant agriculture. The evolution of grass cultivation through the domestication of bread wheat, barley, oats, rye, sorghum, rice, and maize allowed many civilizations to flourish. An example of the evolution of grass can be seen in the development of Triticum aestivum, which is commonly known as bread wheat. Bread wheat is a hexaploid wheat, meaning that it has 6 sets of homologous chromosomes. Its development involved the breeding of a wheat with 4 sets of homologous chromosomes with a similar diploid species of grass. Bread wheat is the most abundantly grown wheat species for the production of food. Another important species in the Poaceae family is Saccharum officinarum, or sugarcane. It was discovered in Southeast Asia after it had become known as a valuable and abundant source of sugar. Sugarcane generates more calories than any other crop, and it is consumed in the form of table sugar. Not only does sugarcane contribute to the fulfillment of our sweet tooths, it also produces alcohol that powers automobiles and the manufacturing of rum. Other alcoholic beverages are created from members of the Poaceae family, such as wheat, rye, corn, and barley. One of the final important groups we will discuss is bamboo, as represented through the species Dendrocalamus strictus. While Triticum aestivum and Saccharum officinarum are both dominant food sources, bamboo is used for the production of many useful products. Some bamboos are considered important vegetables and popular dishes in cultures around the world. However, it is essentially used for the manufacturing of paper products. Dendrocalamus strictus is also considered to be exceptional building material for houses and other domestic items due to its remarkable strength. Grass family members of Poaceae are also used as feed for livestock, erosion control in the form of kudzu, and the creation of turf. As you can see, grass is so much more than the green stuff you see lining highways and football fields. Grass is a very diverse group of organisms that all serve a variety of purposes, both economic and ecological. Grass is pretty amazing, and we can see it every single day.